Hi, this is Caroline Pointer with ForYourFamilyStory.com with part 3 of a three-part tutorial series on how to build a family history website and blog using the Weebly.com platform. And in the first one, we planned it out. We kind of talked about organization of it. In the second one, second video, we talked about a little bit about Weebly's features, as well as we started to build our website. And we only got so far as to come up with the title and put the header in. And so that's where we're going to start or pick back up. The one thing that you want to do first is go to your pages up here. You have these functions up here. You just go to pages. And remember, default home, we already talked about that. That one, it's already there. It's your default one. So now we just want to add some pages. And so you just click add page, and you're going to have to backspace over that and start adding your pages. First one is going to be charts and maps. And another thing we want to do is we want to add a blog. And we're going to keep the page name as a blog. However, typically we usually have blog right after home a lot of the time. That's pretty standard. So all you have to do is hover over these and switch spots so you can rearrange your pages. So we're going to keep blog second, charts and maps third. We're going to go ahead and add another page and call it photos, except you have to backspace. And then add another page, surname list. Add another page, backspace, related links. Add a page, contact me. Okay, and something that we didn't do is we didn't go over, in the second video I talked about these page layouts briefly. You can either have a full header on your page, or you can have a thin header, or you can have no header at all, or you can have this mixed one, which is what I chose for the home page because I kind of like the look. It's a little bit different. I really suggest not to have a header on any of the other pages, including the blog, simply because nowadays you should be adding an image for every blog post. So it just takes up room and real estate on your page, and you really want to keep things above the fold. And it's just kind of redundant to just have a picture there and a picture here. So we want to keep it uncluttered. And so when you go to blog here, your default is to have a header, and I'm going to choose no header. Of course, you can do whatever you want, but that would be my suggestion if you were to ask me. Charts and maps, no header. Photos, no header. Surname list, no header. And there we go. So double check them. Okay, then they look good. Here also, if you had a pro account, this is where you could set up, let's say we wanted to keep the charts and maps password protected. We could do that by checking here, but first we would need to go over into settings, and we would need to set up the site password first. And then we would need to go back to pages and pick which page you want to have password protected and do that. You can also take and link a tab or a page title to an actual external link. We're not going to do that in this example. Or we can hide a page and navigation menu. We don't want to do that either. You could if you wanted to, but we're not going to do that. Okay, so then we just want to save the settings, and you'll notice now all of our headings for our pages are up here now, and they're live, ready to go. Now, when in the last video I couldn't link this because I hadn't created my contact page. I have created it, but I haven't put anything on it. But that's okay. We're going to link it. So what we do is you hover over the button and press link, and we are going to not link to a website URL, but we're going to link it to a page on our website. We want to check the box, open link in new window, then check page on your website, and then choose which page we want to link it to, because we know that once we fill that out, it'll be ready to go. Make sure that you have your links open up in a new window, because when you don't, and let's say you send them off your site to go look at something, then they may forget to come back. So you want to make sure that you have your site open, and then when you send them out off to another site, you make sure you open it up in a new window. So we just hit save. So now that has a link. Now this is just the header, and it has a body of the page down here if you scroll down, and it's empty. And this is where we start. You can add any of these drag and drop features, and briefly on these are the basic ones, and there's some more down here. This one is a title text with a paragraph. It's a paragraph with a title, and you can add that here just like that. Bam, you're ready to go. If you want another one, a paragraph with picture, you're ready to go. If you just want a picture, you can do that. You can just have a title. Maybe you need a title for that picture. So you can just drag and drop. You can have, let me go down here, multiple columns. So you just bring this feature down. And notice now it's separated it out, and we can have up to 5 columns, although that's just a bit much. But just to give you an example, you can just drag and drop that feature down into here, and then you can drag and drop another feature down over to here. So you've got lots of options for design and making everything look different. I'm going to go ahead and delete these really quick. And delete this one. We are going to go ahead and keep the title, picture, paragraph combination, and just title this thing. It doesn't really matter what you title it. Haley Family, whatever. I already have the text written out, so I'm just going to copy and paste it really quick because I'm cheating. And we're going to go ahead and add a picture. So the way you do that, let me start over there. You just click here to edit. We're going to upload it from your computer, and just choose the one with Ray and his wife Stella. While it uploads, it also scans it for a virus. You'll notice that we can resize the image if we want. There's a couple options. We can replace the image, we can give it a border or take away a border. We've got a couple options for the border code. So you just kind of go through. You can make it left or aligned or right aligned. I like it left in this case better. You can also have make this a thumbnail so that it opens up to a larger image just by clicking that, and it will do that for you automatically. Or you can link it to something, or you can delete it if you want, or you can add a caption. In this case, we're going to put Ray and Stella. Neil is her maiden name. Haley. And then save. So there you go. Now that we've got some text in here, I want to go ahead and go back to design. We were in this before in the second video, and want to point out some design options real quickly. Up at the top, you've got the social sharing options. And also up here, you don't see it, but you can add a phone number. We don't want to do that, but we want to keep the social media icons. Basically, we can go through and add our links to our social media. So we're just going to keep that like that. Site title looks fine. The paragraph title is fine, and that would be this right here. The paragraph text, I would prefer that it be black for contrast. And why it just changed that picture, I have no idea. For contrast, and bring it up to a 16 pixel so that people can easily read it. And I will have to go in and add this image again. I have no idea why it took that out. It shouldn't have. And instead of trying to figure out why, we're just going to add it real quick. Okay. Save it as the default header. There, so hopefully it'll keep it now. So there we go. We're done with the first page. The blog, like I said in the previous video, I'm not going to go over that heavily at all. In fact, I'm not even going to go over it. We'll go over it in blogginggenealogy.com. Charts and maps. Real quickly, you can go to Elements and multimedia. Under there you have photo gallery, slideshow, file. These are pro things because they're labeled pro. We want to add a Google map here. And when you click inside the box, you can tell it to go to an address. Here in this case, they lived in several places in Jasper County, Iowa. So I'm just going to put that in there. And then I'm going to change the zoom because it's zoomed in too far. And I just want to give an idea of where it is in the state. And then we can position it to center. And we can even make it bigger. Bigger width, and large height. So that gives you a little bit of an option. So just go over those. There's some advanced features in here that you can work with as well. Now, as far as charts are concerned, you can't embed a document into here within Weebly using their scribed option to embed a document. That's a pro feature. So my workaround for that, when I've got two, there's more than two options that you could do. I'm going to go over two though. One is that we could have just a link to, let's say we have a PDF document of our chart. Let's say we made it in our genealogy database software and we downloaded it as a PDF onto our computer, and let's say we uploaded it to Google Docs, which is now Google Drive. So what we would want to do is then get a link to it for sharing, and I already did that for us. And we would copy that. Then we would go back to our site and we could, add a title text and just put links to charts. And this one, I don't know what this one is. I think it's a pedigree chart. I'm not sure which kind of chart it is, but we'll just go ahead and put it's a pedigree chart. We can highlight our text and we're going to link it. And since this is an external link, it's a website URL, you're going to hit open link in new window. And we're going to right click in here and hit paste and save it. And now this is a link to our Google Docs chart that we have there, PDF document. The other thing that you can do is just put a link. Let's say you did everything and you, instead of putting it on Google Drive, you have it on your computer, on your hard drive. Then you can just say, click here to view pedigree chart. And you would want to highlight all of that. Don't just highlight here or click here. And there's a couple of reasons why you would want to do that, but we'll go over that at another time. Anyway, so we go ahead and choose a file or upload a file. And the file that we want to upload is a family group sheet. Let's say the family group sheet let's do Myrtle Haley's pedigree chart. It's uploading the file, scanning it, and now we have it there. So they don't even have to go to Google Drive. They can just view it on here, and when we publish, you'll see what the difference is on those two. Now in photos, you have a lot of options here. When you go to multimedia, you could have a photo gallery if you wanted to, and that will just show all the photos. I think I showed one in the first video. We want to click here to upload images. Now I got to go back to the images. The Haley family. And we want to select all the photos for them that I cropped already. And then hit open. And it's going to upload each one and scan them really quick for viruses. It should happen pretty quickly for you. And once it's done, you can go ahead and click inside the box, and then all of a sudden you can rearrange these however you want to do them. Again, each picture has some options on there. You can add a caption, you can add a link. In this case, we're just going to do a quick, we're going to identify Edward Haley, save, just so that we can get a good idea of what those look like with the captions on them. You can also change the columns to 3, 4, 5, up to 6 different columns. We're going to keep them at 3. You can change spacing, border, cropping, some advanced features here, which involves the spacing. So you can try to get it looking exactly the way you want it to look. The other option or feature is a slideshow, and I showed you that in my pointer site. And now you have some different options for different types of slideshows. I showed you one with the double thumbnails to the right. I'm going to go ahead and show you one with thumbnails with a single row on the right hand side. And we hit continue. And then we want to upload photos. Again, we're going to select the same photos. Open. And again, it's going to upload them and scan them and add them to our slideshow. Just like the gallery, you can rearrange them and you can add captions to them. So let's say we want the front of that album to be first. Of course, it's competing with me because it's trying to upload at the same time. Sometimes you can do them at the same time, sometimes you can't. Apparently it didn't like me doing that. Anywho, then you would just put captions in. Again, I'm only going to do one just so you can get a good idea of what it looks like. And then we want to go ahead and save. And this is what it looks like. The slideshow does. And here's the thumbnails on the side. And you can see the caption is over the picture. You may or may not like that idea. Third option is where, oh, well, first, before I show you the third option, you know, design-wise, sometimes you need a break physically or, you know, in the layout. And so they offer under more, we're not going to talk about the revenue options, but under more you have this thing called a divider. And it's really nice design-wise to give a break in between stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and put some in here. Now my third option is not through Weebly, but let's say we don't like their slideshow. And let's say that you also don't like the idea of having to re-upload photos that you already have on another third-party site like Picasa or perhaps Flickr or photobucket.com. I use photobucket.com. I also have a Flickr account and a Picasa account. I created through photobucket.com. I created a Haley slideshow of these pictures. I'm not going to show you how I did that because I don't have time, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how you can take the code that it gives you. Now, it doesn't automatically give you the code in here, right here, because it doesn't have Weebly listed, but it has the code here. So you just have to highlight it. And this is the embedding code. And copy it, and then close that, and go back to your Weebly site, and go down and hit more. See this custom HTML? This is a godsend because using it you can really customize your site with other third-party stuff as long as you have the embedding code in it. So you just drag and drop custom HTML just like I did, and then you're going to click inside the box, and then you're going to right click and click paste, and it has all the code in there for you. You can align it to the left, to the center, or to the right. I prefer center. And this is the slideshow that Photo Bucket gives us, with the captions up at the top. And they have different types of slideshows that you can choose from. This is just the one that I chose from. So it gives you a couple of ideas on how you can add photos. The last thing I'm going to show you, I don't have any videos of the Haleys or anything about the Haleys on video. However, I do have another type of video. It's for my family actually, and I have it on as long as you have a video that you want to embed on YouTube or Vimeo, you can take and embed that. See, this is a oh, it has an error. Let me see. Go back to my channel. Go to my videos. Let me pull up that video again. And press stop. Okay. Hit share. And if you hit embed on your YouTube video, it's going to give you the embedding code, and you can choose what size you want it. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to copy that embed coding. I'm going to go back to my Weebly site, and again, we are pretending that that is about the Haleys. That is not about the Haleys. But if you wanted to put a video on your site, you could drag this custom HTML feature or element, and you're going to click inside the box, then you're going to right click and paste the code for that video. You can choose left, center, right, alignment, and there you go. You just put a video on your site. So then the next thing I would suggest that you put on is a surname list, or surnames I'm researching, something like that on there. A good example of that is on my personal family history site. I have one called Surnames I'm Researching, and I list out their migration patterns because that helps us to identify which Marshall or Blackadder or Martin, because there's a ton of those in the world, which ones I'm talking about. So what I did is I went ahead, and I don't have all that information out for the Haleys, but I do have what we can do is we will go up to basic. You're going to take title, text, feature, element, surnames I'm researching, something to that effect, and click here to edit. And you're going to, at the very least, sorry about that, at the very least, you're going to put at least list the names that you're researching that have something to do with the Haleys. It would be helpful though if you could add more information, but at the beginning, you know, at least put that. Let's see what else. Related links. We have, as mentioned before, we have stuff all over the place. We may not want to even put a photo, import or embed a photo slideshow, but we have all of the, this whole album over on another site. So then we would want to just have some related links for them to go to. So for example, if you have ancestry.com tree, and then you would highlight it, press link, open link in a new window, and then you would have a link going towards your ancestry tree or an album on another site, a photo album or a video or anything like that. So anything that you can think of that you could, where you have information on the website, you want to put those links in here. The last thing is the contact me page. This is really simple because Weebly, under basic, and I think they have it under more too, do they? Yeah, under more. There is an element called contact form, and if you drag and drop that down here, it automatically sets up a default form for you, and that's really all I ever use. I don't use any information. It has a nice little button for you and everything. So I always just invite them, please feel free to contact me. And there's some options here. You can view entries once people start giving them to you. The other thing that you want to do is, let's see, close that. In the form options, it's going to have a spot. It comes up with your, whatever email that you use to set up your Weebly account, it's going to pull that email here. It doesn't mean that it's going to print it or publish it out to the world, but whatever email you have here is where these submissions are going to be emailed to you. So if you don't want this email that you set up with Weebly, then you need to set up and put up another email address there. But that's how that looks. Very simple to make a form. One last thing, it's really cool. I haven't even had a chance to use it. Going back to photos, you know, a lot of times we have, let me go to the home page. You know, we really don't want people to take our pictures. You know, you can always right click a picture and highlight save image as and kind of steal that picture or borrow it or whatever you want to call it. We can try to prevent people from doing this. And by, let me see if I can get the code off of here. Okay. It's not going to let me copy it. There we go. When you go into that original settings page, and under general settings, let's see, no, under search engine optimization, in the footer code you can actually paste this particular code, and I will put this in the blog post as something that you can copy and paste and use for yourself. What this does is it tells the browser it won't allow them to save the image at all. Sometimes you run across that. It doesn't work in every browser, so if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Nothing's foolproof, but it may prevent some of that hijacking of our photos that we are, you know, at least sharing the viewing of with other people. So basically, that is how you set it up. There's obviously a lot more involved in. I will go over the blog and optimization and setting up a blog on blogginggenealogy.com, my other website. But basically, that's it. That's how you set it up. So once you're comfortable with it, then you're going to hit publish up here. And it's asking you, are you sure you want to do it under a subdomain of Weebly? Or do you want to register or use a domain? No, we're sure. We want to do under a subdomain. Hit continue. Don't be confused, because once again, it's trying to upsell you and have you buy a domain. So do not hit continue unless you want to do that. This is a link, though, to your new website. So you want to go ahead and click on that, and it opens it up in a new tab. And this is how your website looks. And you can go back and edit it again if you want by going back over into the Weebly site and hitting the close button and work on it some more and republish it all you want to. Here's the blog, which we didn't do anything with. It just had your standard stuff on it. Charts and maps. That's how your map will look on the website. Links to charts. This is the link to the Google one, and it will take you to the PDF of the forest family tree PDF. I have it labeled wrong. Yeah, and it's taking forever to upload, but that's what it looks like. Or if you want to just, this is the one where we said, okay, this is the file from our computer, so it uploaded it for us to Weebly, and it's hosting it there for us. And we have some options here where you can print it, share it with somebody. So I'm going to go use the back button. So that's what those look like. Photos. This is our gallery. This is what it looks like. When you hit this thumbnail, that's when it brings up the full image in the gallery, and it will give you the caption there, and you can hit next and manually go through all the pictures. or you can close it. Scrolling down, this is the Weebly slideshow. This is the single panel of thumbnails. You'll notice that it's live. You can, sift through them. You can turn the slideshow on. It allows the viewer to turn it on themselves. It doesn't start automatically. And there we go. Now going back to that first picture, you'll want to see that it puts the caption on top of the picture. Now this is the photo bucket slideshow that we embedded in there. That's what it looks like, and it's automatically going. There's Grandma with her leg. And then this is the example of the video that's not a Haley video, but it is an example of embedding a video from YouTube, which you can do from YouTube or you can do it from Vimeo. So you have some options with your photos. Surname list, this is what that page would look like. Related links, this is what this would look like. This would obviously be a link. We didn't make it a link, but if you had a link to your tree, you would be able to click it here, the user would. And this is what the Contact Me site looks like, or page, excuse me. And then it's a live form, and they fill it out, then they hit submit, then Weebly saves it in their system, and it also gets sent, a copy gets sent to you in whatever the email that you designated. Let's go back to that first page and let's see if we're in Chrome browser right now, so let's right click and see if it will let us do something. See, it's preventing us. I'm right clicking and it won't let us right click on the pictures. So it works in Chrome. So basically that is how you set up a family history website and get started with it. Like I said, we'll go over blogging and doing the blog and setting it up and optimizing it through blogginggenealogy.com, probably through a combination of both posts as well, written posts as well as video. All right, so this has been Caroline Pointer with foryourfamilystory.com. Thanks.